Good day, everyone, and once again, welcome to my YouTube channel. It's me, Ray Magtarayo, and today I have my sister here with me, fresh from the United Arab Emirates. So she just landed here in Canada last Saturday, January 25, 2020, on her way to New Brunswick, but she decided to stop over here in Alberta to be with us for some time. And tonight she'll be flying to New Brunswick. And of course, I would like to take this advantage to interview her, to ask her, so you guys could learn from her experience. And if this is your first time to be watching my video, I create videos and provide tips on how to immigrate here in Canada. And if this is something that you are interested to do, please hit the subscribe button below and click the thumbs up and share my videos. Okay, so my sister's name is Camille. So she was working in a hotel in Ajman in United Arab Emirates. So I will ask her questions and I hope you will learn from it, okay? So my first question, Camille, how did you come here in Canada?
I came here with the AIPP. It's the same program as you had before, so it was the same process. Basically, I found my employer by you. So you gave me the email address of the human resources manager in Seattle, and I tried my luck, and I got lucky.
Yeah, if you would recall from my previous video, I said that I was able to look for a job offer or for an employer for my sister. So this is the sister that I'm speaking with, talking about. So basically, I got her employer from chatting with another person in a Facebook group, successful in Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program. So I found out that one of the guys that is a member of my group got a job offer from Seattle, and after conversing with him, I got the details of the Human Resources Department, which I gave to her, and yes, so she got the job. So Camille, when you were applying, how long or how soon did you get a response from Seattle?
I first tried my luck with the website, so he told me to apply with Seattle. He gave me the email address, but I didn't send immediately my application for some reason. So I applied online. They, as per the website, they are supposed to contact me around like 2 weeks, but it didn't happen. So they contacted me after maybe a month and a half. After that, so I did the assessment online and did the application online. So when the human resources manager, like I also sent my CV to her, and when she contacted me, everything is done. So it was very quick, very easy.
So what job actually did you get accepted for?
It was customer service representative.
Okay, so it's customer service representative for Seattle in St. John, New Brunswick, right?
Yeah.
Okay, as my sister mentioned, she processed actually through AIPP.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't know the program, could you please tell me what are the documents or requirements that you actually prepared to apply for this?
Back then, I was hired around 2018. The program was still quite new, so they did not have much requirements. I think they asked for the police clearance from each country that you stayed in for 6 months or and longer. When you turn 18, they asked for not WES, but academic,
PCA,
academic credentials assessment. They asked for IELTS, as usual. And what else did they ask?
Reference letters from your previous employers?
Reference letters from previous employers. Somehow we tailored the reference letter with the knock that I have to be sure.
So basically what she's trying to say is the reference letters or the letter that she got from her previous employer or from her current employer must be in line with the NOC job responsibilities that you are applying
Yeah.
for, right?
Yeah, I had the same company, like people who were hired by the same company who were refused of the endorsement simply because the NOC that they put is not fit to the role that they were hired for. So they were asked to reapply. Unfortunately, Cytel closed its site already, and they were not able to get the endorsement.
So it is very important that the responsibilities that your employer puts in your reference letters are really aligned to the kind of job that you are applying for here in Canada, because of course that's the only basis that the IRCC will actually base their decision if they will be approving it or denying your application for permanent residence here in Canada.
If I understood it correctly, if you're applying for NOCC, then you have to make sure that the job responsibilities that you put in this reference letter is in line with NOCC and not like supervisory level. Otherwise, there might be some job experience conflict.
Okay, cool. What about what institution did you actually contact for your settlement services here in Canada? Because that is one of the requirement as well.
Yeah. So for you to get endorsed, you have to find the employer first of all. After that, after settling everything with your employer will ask you to contact an institution for the settlement plan. They gave me a list. I contacted YMCA. They were the fastest ones to do it for me. After settlement, I give it back to my employer.
Okay, and then after, once you have all your documents, did you actually have the proof of funds immediately, or that actually was submitted together with the PR application?
So with my endorsement, I had to resubmit it. I first submitted my requirements for the endorsement around, I don't know, maybe like May. I cannot remember the exact month. And then basically they asked us to reapply on a different month later on, around after 3 months, because there were a lot of refusals in the application because they don't have enough proof of funds, the ECA is not matching, or the IELTS is too low, or something like this basically. So after the additional requirements, in these additional requirements, it asked you to submit the ECA, the IELTS, and the proof of funds, I think,
Okay.
to
So-
make sure that you will get the PR.
Yeah, so just tips for people who are actually applying. I know some people are thinking, oh, do they really need to have the ECA? Do they really need to have the IELTS proof of funds ready while they're applying? Well, my suggestion, it would be better if you have them, because most of the employers would actually consider that. Like, if I'm an employer, of course, I would rather hire someone who has their documents readily available than those people who will just start the process, because that will also prolong the application. And if I'm the employer as well, I would want my people, my employees, to come here in Canada as soon as possible and to start their work, because I have a business to run, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. So Camille, I remember during that time that you applied for endorsement, there were some backlogs,
Yeah.
meaning like there's a lot of delays, right?
Yeah.
How long did you actually wait for your provincial endorsement in New Brunswick?
So provincial endorsement at that time was usually just 2 weeks, but on my case, it reached more than 1 year because of the backlogs. First of all, at that time the province was not so ready. They were giving so many endorsements without realizing that they are above the quota. So they stopped somehow. They also stopped that time the F&B and accommodation endorsements, and with the employers they were giving now the limit.
Okay.
So luckily enough, I was able to get mine on the first batch.
Because I remember I encountered some people actually waiting for endorsement, and
Yeah.
then the New Brunswick website actually posted that they stopped processing provincial endorsement for AIPP. However, they are still accepting PNP applications for nominations. So that's also something that affected the wait time as well. Okay, so once you get your provincial endorsement, what happened?
I immediately applied for PR. I lodged my application, like I got my endorsement, like let's say today. I lodged my application after 3 days. And then I didn't receive any AOR even after a month. So I contacted them through the web form, and I linked my application online.
Okay, so did you get the reply from the IRCC when you send them an email?
I got a reply after like the next day.
Okay.
Yeah. But I figured out that they already received my application 1 month before. So apparently for my AOR, I didn't have to wait for 1 month for them to get it, like for me to get this AOR. But the moment they received it, they opened my application.
Okay. So for you guys who don't know what AOR is, that's acknowledge of receipt. That is an email that you would receive from the IRCC confirming that they have received your application. And usually like it lasts for a month or 2 months before you get a confirmation from them after they receive your envelope or the official documents. So sometimes people are so scared, like after 1 month or 2 months, they have not received any email acknowledgement. That is the reason, because you have to wait. And also, one of the reasons is that maybe your application is not complete and it's being sent back to you. So it's very important.
Basically, it's the moment that the visa office opens your application and checks if everything is fine, then you will receive the AOR.
Okay, so after you receive the AOR, what are the other processes that you went through?
So they first asked me to do biometrics. Usually they ask medical first, if I am not mistaken, and then biometrics. But in my case, they asked me to do biometrics first. And then after 2 weeks, they asked me to do the medicals. I did my medical on October 2. As per my timeline on CIC website, the entire process was done after I submitted the medical, because they finished my background check on September 26th, and the eligibility on 26th of September, and background check was finished like September 12th. Medical was October 2, but then I got my PPR January 8th.
Okay.
It took some time, yeah.
So like as you mentioned, you got your PPR or passport request on January 8th. So in total, how long did you wait for the approval of your permanent residence then?
It was 5 months exactly.
Okay, 5 months. So that's faster than the usual 6 months time frame processing given for the AIP. But she can work in any other employers, right?
Yeah. But I will be staying in New Brunswick for quite some time to at least give back to the province that let me come here in Canada.
Okay. During the time that you went to that you were interviewed by the immigration officer at the border at the airport, did they actually mention to you that you cannot move out of the province, or people are saying that okay, New Brunswick is the province that endorse you, you got your permanent residence because of them. Do you have, or did they mention like how long do you have to stay there?
Not necessarily. They didn't mention anything. They saw that on my boarding pass that I will not be going directly to St. John. The immigration officer just asked if I have any plans to go to New Brunswick, and I told that yeah. And he's asking if I have any plans to move out of the province after some time. I told like I have to test the waters, and he didn't say anything. So when they were like proclaiming that I am a permanent resident, they were telling like I can retain my permanent residence as long as I will not be out of the country for 6 consecutive months, and I have to stay here like 3 out of 5 years, something like this.
You mean in Canada?
In Canada.
Okay.
Not in the province itself.
Okay, then that's good to know. So I think that would be all of my questions. Last few words maybe to our viewers. What tips of advice?
Don't give up. It's always about like trying. I know that some of you are having a hard time, but somehow you will get lucky.
Okay, so thank you, Camille, for accommodating this interview. After this, we'll be preparing for her for her flight. She'll be flying to New Brunswick tonight, and it's 7:20 here in Alberta, and her flight is at 12 midnight. So thank you very much, guys, for watching the video. And if you think that this video became or is very helpful to you, please hit the subscribe button below and thumbs up. Thank you.